Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sumukascha Ekadantascha Kapilo Gajakarnakaha Lambodharascha Vikato Vignarajo Vinayakaha Dhumaketur Ganadhyakshaha Phalachandro Gajananaha Vakratundaha Surpakarno Herambaha Skandapurvajaha Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Yasyad Viradavaktradhyaf Parishadhyaf Parasatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamasraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Now we will do the Prarthana Slokams now, and you should have received it by email today. Yes. So you can also read along with me, even though you have your mute on, and I'll read it slowly. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartrubhyo Vamsa Rishibhyo Mahadbhyo Namo Gurubhyaha Sarvo Paplava Varahitaha Prajnana Ghanaha Pratyagartho Brahmaivahamasmi. Om Narayanam Padmabhavam Vasishtham Shaktim Cha Tatputra Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shukham Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Mathasya Sishyam Sri Sankaracharya Mathasya Padmapadam Cha Hastamalakam Cha Sishyam Tam Totakam Vartikakara Manyanas Madgurun Santatamanatosmi Sruti Smriti Purananamalayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Isvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyoma Vadvayapta Dehaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. Now yesterday, let us continue with Bhagavan's grace and Adi Sankara Bhagavad Padal's Anugraham and grace and blessings. We concluded Slokam number 1. And that Slokam is repeated generally after every Slokam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate, Samprapte Sannihite Kale, Nahi Nahi Rakshati, Dukrunch Karane. You know, it's like a beautiful, sweet but very firm hammer stroke. Let us move on to Slokam number 2. Muda Jahihi Dhanagama Trishnam Kuru Sadbuddhim Manasi Vitrishnam Yal Labhase Nija Karmo Patam Vittam Tena Vinodaya Chittam. Muda Jahihi Dhanagama Trishnam Guru Sadbuddhim Manasi Vitrishnam Yal Labhase Nija Karmo Patam Vittam Tena Vinodaya Chittam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudamate. Now, we want to do Bhaja Govindam, we want to pray to Bhagavan, we want to be with Swami all the time. But what is it that is preventing us? There are two major obstacles. And the very first one of them, Acharya is now talking about. Okay? Muda Jahihi, a Muda, a fool. The person who is not using his intellect properly, that is what Muda means. Muda, you know, he is addressing us, he is addressing me for sure. Jahihi. Jahihi means give up. Okay. What should you give up? Dhana Agama Trishnam. Dhana Agama. Agama means to come. Dhana means wealth. Wealth does not only mean monetary wealth in terms of dollars or rupees or gold or whatever. Dhanam means anything and everything that gives us happiness, that takes care of our well-being in this world. Okay, everything that goes into, whether it is scholarship, whether it is health, whether it is material wealth, whether it is children, whatever it is, or whether it is food that we eat, everything is dhanam. So agama, that means I want wealth, I want dhanam, right? I want that wealth to come to me. Trishnam. Trishnam is a beautiful, beautiful word. Now imagine, look at it this way. If you have a fire that is raging uncontrollably, and you keep on, it is always, when the fire goes to the forest, what does it do? It just does not eat one tree and then stop at it, right? It wants more and more. It spreads. Whatever you feed it, it is not enough. It wants more and more. That feeling, that insatiable desire, unquenchable thirst, that is called Trishnam. With that kind of a powerful, unquenchable thirst, insatiable desire, I want wealth, I want wealth, I want wealth. That is Jahihi. Give that up. Leave that, is what he says. Now, then, what does he say after giving that up? He also says, Kuru Sadbuddhim Manasi Vitrishnam. He says, Kuru. Then, Jahihi, give up. Kuru means do. What should you do? Sadbuddhim Manasi. Sadbuddhim. Sadbuddhim is a beneficial movement of the mind, if you can put it that way. When do you get mind is most beneficial? When it is most peaceful, isn't it? And it may be seeking peace and happiness. It is trying for that in different places in our own mind without success, right? But it is seeking happiness and peace, lasting happiness, not temporary happiness, lasting happiness. We all want to be peaceful. Shantam is what our nature is. So, Sadbuddhim is one that gives you that peaceful anubhavam, peaceful living, peaceful experience, and that can happen only in the company of Bhagavan. That is Sadbuddhim. Sat means anything to do with in the company of Bhagavan. Sat Sangam means in the company of Bhagavan. Sadbuddhim means you keep your buddhi in the company of Bhagavan, in the proximity of Bhagavan, at his lotus feet. That means you keep thinking of him. Manasi, in your mind. Vitrishnam. Trishnam is desire. Trishnam is unquenchable, insatiable desire. I want this, Desire become greed, we use all these various words. But you know what is happening within us, right? We want something, and then once we get it, we want more of it. Or we want something more. We want something bigger. We want something more powerful. Whatever it is, we keep on wanting more and more and more. That is Trishnam. Vitrishnam, when you put in Sanskritam, as Paramacharya, as Mahaperiva describes in one of his discourses, when you put the word vi in front of something else, it can take one of two meanings. One is, it can, like we say, sham. That means it can give a unique, special quality. It is exalted. It is most special. Another meaning, when you put the aksharam, vi, before another word, it means exactly the opposite. Okay? In this case, with Trishnam, which means opposite of Trishnam is what? Dispassion. Opposite of Trishnam is contentment. Right? With contented feeling. Okay? With not be greedy, not be desirous. Put your mind in at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Sadbuddhim, Manasi, Kuru. Kuru, Sadbuddhim, Manasi, Vitrishnam. Then what? Okay, you've given up. He says, give up the desire for this insatiable desire for wealth. And wealth means all the things we've talked about it. And not only that, he says, then think of your mind, Bhagavan. Keep your mind in the company of Bhagavan. Be friendly to your mind. Be loving to your mind. We are all afraid of our mind, right? We are all controlled by our mind. It's taking us in so many places. Take control of it. Exercise love towards your mind. Automatically, it will come, supplicate, and be controlled just like a serpent. Just like a snake gets controlled by a charm of the music. The moment I start loving my own mind, the love means what? Nothing but Bhagavan. That means Sadbuddhim. And Vitrishnam automatically takes place. Once you put the mind in the company of God, company of Bhagavan, your favorite form of God, just think of it. At that moment, you don't have Trishna. You don't have desire. You don't have greed. You have only peace. So Vitrishnam automatically takes place when you put Sadbuddhim, okay, with your mind. Then, Yal labase nija karma upatam. Yal labase, yat labase. Labhyam means to obtain, to obtain, okay, to acquire something that you achieve, something that comes to you, right? That means labhyam. So, yal labase, yat labase. Yat means whatever, whichever, okay. Labase, that you get. How do you get it? Nija karma. That means with your nija means true. Something that is truthful. There is no shading to it. There is no editing to it. There is no manipulation to it. It is the truth. That is truth, period. That's all. And with that karma, whatever actions you do now or in the past or what you are destined to do in the future, it is a karma is an unbreakable chain that can be broken only when the karma itself leaves you. Remember, we are not doing the work. The work is doing us. So, nija karma, the truthfully, whatever action that is taking place, whether it took place in the past or taking place in the present or will take place in the future, we are also bound by that. Whatever it is, nija karma upatam means whatever you obtain through your karma, through your work. Whether result may come instantly or result may come after some days, it may come in the next birth. You never know. But whatever you get as a result of your own actions, vittam means wealth, dhanam. All types of things that are needed, required, essential, necessary to live in this world. And there's absolutely nothing wrong in living in this world. Actually, it's beautiful. We are sent here to enjoy Bhagavan's creation, the universe, the nature. But we should not take ownership of it. We should enjoy it as his agent. He has given us so much to enjoy. The sunset, beautiful sunrise, beautiful, so many trees, fragrances, varieties of flowers, birds, you just think of it. Everything is so pretty, so beautiful, isn't it? And we should enjoy it. And those are all wealth and vittam. So, tena means with that. With what? Yal labase nija karma upatam. Whatever wealth you get as a result of your own actions, tena with that, vinodaya chittam. Chittam means your mind. With your mind, vinodaya. Enjoy. Be pleased. Be contented. Be pleased. Be happy. That is Bhagavan's prasadam. As for the karma that you did, the prasadam, the result is coming. Enjoy it. Be happy with it. Tena vinodaya chittam. O fool, give up this unquenchable thirst to possess wealth. Create in your mind, devoid of passion. That means create in your mind the prasada buddhi, as we saw in Bhagavad Gita. Thoughts of the reality, thoughts of Bhagavan, thoughts of God. Create that in your mind. Okay. Now, with whatever you get as a reward of your own actions, be pleased with that in your mind. Be contented. Be happy with it. That is what the slokam says. Let us read the slokam once more. Muda jahihi dhanagama trishnam kuru sadbuddhim manasi vitrishnam. Yal labase nija karmo patham vittam tena vinodaya chittam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja, Mudamate. Slokam number 3. Now that is one obstruction in executing the desire to do Bhaja Govindam. It's easy to say, pray to me, worship me, think of Swami, think of Bhagavan. But what are the obstacles? The obstructions are there. The very first obstruction is our desire and greed for dhanam. Dhanam, remember, includes all, not only material wealth, but all types of wealth, positions, power, fame, whatever you call it, food, everything is included in that. So that is our desire to acquire. To put it simply, the acquisitive desire is dhanam. That's the very first obstacle or obstruction to wanting to embrace the lotus feet, to do Bhaja Govindam. Now we are coming to the second major obstacle that Acharya is pointing out to us, right? Which is Slokam number 3. Naris tana bhara nabhi desam drishtva ma ga moha avesham etat mamsa vasa adi vikaram manasi vichintaya varam varam. Naris tanabhara nabhi desam drishtva maga moha vesam etat mamsa vasadi vikaram manasi vichintaya varam varam. The second major obstacle is the attraction that a man has for a woman and a woman has for a man. And this attraction is natural. This is what in Vishnu Sahasranamam we say Kamaha, Kamakrit, right? Bhagavan, when he created Prakriti, the very first desire that he had is the Mula Prakriti. That's a Kamam. He had a desire to create. So the desire is pervading all through the universe in whatever we do. So there's nothing wrong in the desire. And as part of the very first instruction Bhagavan gave Brahma when he created Brahma, he said, go and people the earth. Progeny. That was the main thing that he instructed Brahma. That is why all the beings have this natural tendency to procreate. Right? That is our natural tendency. It's a natural thing. You and I can't stop it. We are all pulled by that. So, and as part of that, it is very natural for the man to be attracted to woman and woman to be attracted to man. That is what, the key thing is, how do we sublimate that attraction, how we make that attraction for what it really is, which is it's a very sacred attraction. It has to be a disciplined attraction. It should be a controlled attraction, and it should be a worshipful attraction. It should be, these are so many things involved on that when you really look at it, right? As when you take that attraction as Bhagavan himself, automatically you will sublimate and worship it. You will not go beyond that. It will no longer be an obstruction to you. It will be a tool for you. So that is what this slokam is talking about. It says, but then how to sublimate it, how to really realize that attraction, the body attraction, put it in its proper perspective. How can I do that? That is what this slokam is teaching us in the most clear manner. Most clear manner. Very like a presi writing, like a black and white it is going to be. Nari stana bhara nabi desham drishtva maga moha vesam etat mamsa vasadi vikaram manasi vichintaya varam varam. Nari means of maidens, of women. Stana bhara. Stana bhara denotes the bosom of the woman. Nabhi. Nabhi means the navel part of it. Desham, that means a place. Drishtva, having seen. Once you see that, ma, do not. Ga, fall a prey to it. Don't become slave to that. Once you see it, don't become slave. And having become a slave, moha avesham. Moha avesham. Moha means maddening, delusive, uncontrollably, we call it attraction or whatever we call it. Avesham is a tremendous force comes in, right? and it's maddening. It's a very, very great delusion that comes in. Okay, don't become slave to that attraction. Okay, and Ga means don't fall prey to it. Don't be enslaved by that tremendous attraction that takes place. Why? Etat. All these are nothing but mamsa. They are made of flesh. Vasa, mamsa, vasa. Vasa means fat. That is what we have, flesh and fat inside, right? And adi, vasa, adi. Like this, they are made of bones and flesh and fat and when you think of it like that, and they are all vikaram. They are just a changed form, another form of appearance, of a modified way of appearing. What is appearance? The flesh and the fat or the bones and all these things, they put together appear in a different way. That's all. When you look at it that way, manasi, in your mind, vichintaya. Chintaya means to think. Chinta means to think. Vichintaya, as we saw in the last slokam, the appellation V here denotes not the opposite, but the exalted thinking, a special thinking, a purified thinking. So think of it well, like this, that they are nothing but flesh and fat and bones and all that. Don't become slave. Okay? And another thing is, it doesn't stop there. It says varam, repeatedly vichintaya. Varam vichintaya. Varam means again. Varam means repeatedly vichintaya. Why varam? Because if I just think of it once, think of, this is only bone and flesh and all that, it doesn't end there. Because, remember, Bhagavan's creation, the force of attraction is very powerful. And to counter that, I must purify my mind. And purification does not take place instantly. You have to keep on at it, just like doing a physical exercise, going to a gym to build muscles. To build the mental muscles, the strength of my mind, to purify it, I must keep on exercising it repeatedly. I must give it the right food. I must put it in the right way. It's a tremendously repetitive exercise that not only is limited to this birth, it is to be done through several births. That is why varam comes. So I must be aware of this. Keep on practicing it repeatedly. That is what varam means. Okay. Nari stanabhara nabhi desham drishtva maga moha vesam yetan mamsa vasadi vikaram manasi vichintaya varam. The same attraction here Acharya describes it is for man getting attracted to woman. Why? In Bhagavan's creation, when in our scriptures, how did the world, how did the universe get created, what happened first, and all these things are very beautifully described. What happened was, once Brahma was given the charge to describe, to go and procreate, to progeny, people the earth, is exactly what Swami told him. That means he has to create numerous, not only human beings, numerous varieties of beings, whether it is snakes or trees or whatever it is, everything goes through the procreation process, if you look at it. For man, what he did, the very first man was Manu. Okay? And Brahma decided, if I have to procreate, and progeny is my charter, how can I do that? I can't do that by being single. I've got to have at least two parts. That is why he created two parts from himself. The masculine part, what we call as masculine part in English, that's called the Manu. The other part, what we call as a feminine part in English, that was actually called, that form that he created was most attractive. It attracted, and it attracted in 100 ways. That is why it was called Sadarupa. That is what we call as feminine. So a woman attracts in many, many ways. Whereas the Manu, the masculine part as we call it, gets attracted. So these are the two parts, the attractor and the attracted. So that is why Paramacharya Adi Sankara Bhagavad Pada describes the perspective of attraction from the attracted perspective, from the man's perspective. This thing is equally valid from the attractor perspective. Same way, a feminine being, a woman, has to exercise tremendous control in looking at a man and follow the same slokam. Same thing is applicable to that. Okay? Let us try and do one more. Slokam number 4. Now, after having described very precisely and powerfully the two obstacles and obstructions to do Bhaja Govindam, now that I'm aware what are my obstacles, what are the obstacles I'm facing, then Paramacharya introduces a sense of tremendous urgency. When should I do it? Should I wait for a week? Should I do it next year, or beginning for the dawn of New Year to begin this, or look for an auspicious time and do some puja and all that, start that? No. The answer is now and here and now. Do it immediately is what he says. And he introduces a sense of urgency by pointing out to us in an absolutely powerful, unadulterated, no-hold-barred manner what our life is. What is our life really? How temporary it is, how unstable it is, how unpredictable it is. So he puts our life in the most precise perspective. That's what this slokam is. So that we understand the sense of urgency, and therefore, hey, I must do this Bhaja Govindam immediately, not wait for tomorrow. Not wait for day after tomorrow. I know what is obstructing me. I must get to work immediately. That urgency is here in slokam number 4. Nalini dalakata jala mati taralam. Jalam ati taralam. Tadvad jivitam atisaya chapalam. Vidhi vyadi abhimana grastam. Lokam shokahatam cha samastham. Nalini dalakata jalam ati taralam. Tadvad jivitam atishaya chapalam. Vidhi vyadi abhimana grastam. Lokam shokahatam cha samastham. Nalini dala gata. Nalini. Nalini means a lotus. And dala, Nalini dala, that is lotus leaf, leaf of the lotus. Okay, or a petal as we call it. Gata means to go. Is literally meaning to go. But what is gone there? What is there? Jalam, a drop of water on the petal of a lotus, on a lotus petal. Gata, to play. You know, if you can picture a lotus petal, picture a drop of water on that, will the drop of water be stable, or will it be moving around? What is going to happen to it? It can fall down any second, right? It is so unstable. Ati, extremely. Taralam, uncertain. That drop of water has an extremely uncertain existence. Like the drop of water on a petal of a lotus. You know, our life is exactly like that. So uncertain, so unstable. Tatvate, tatvate. So, in the same way, jivitam, life. In the second line, I'm going now. Tatvate, tatvate, jivitam, the life, our life. Atishaya, atishaya. Atishaya means very great. Okay? Very great. In a very big manner. Okay? Ati means always big. Okay? Atishaya, like in the previous line also, ati taralam. Ati means extremely. Here atishaya means in a extreme manner. What is it? Chapalam. Chapalam means unstable. Just like the drop of a water on the petal of a lotus is unstable, is extremely unstable, uncertain existence. You don't know how long it's going to live, right? It can fall down any second, any moment. Like that, our life is also extremely unstable. Vidhi, understand. What should you understand? Vyadhi. This is the first part of our life. Now he is describing the second aspect of our life in a very powerful manner, equally powerful manner. He says, Vidhi, understand this. Vyadhi abhimana grastham. What is this life that is so unstable? It is vyadhi. Agrastham means to be consumed by, to be filled by vyadhi, disease and illness, and abhimanam, conceit, ego. I am the doer, I am this, I am that. We all feel that, isn't it? That is nothing but conceit and deception. The truth is not that. Truth is Bhagavan is everything. But we don't think that way, right? We spend our life in conceit, and we spend our life filled with diseases and illnesses. Diseases and illnesses, don't immediately think it is to do with only the body. Body illness is one thing, falling sick. But what is our mind? Our mind is always so ill. It feels angry, it feels jealous, it feels, unsatisfied, dissatisfied, it wants more. There's so much agitation going on. There's fever. Our mind has always got a fever. With all the agitation, it's a feverish mind, right? It's not a calm mind. So we are sick and we are ill. That life is filled with disease and conceit. Lokam, this world, okay. Soka hatam. Shoka means with misery, with sadness, the absence of happiness, the absence of bliss, if you can call it that way. Hatam, filled with, it is beset with. Cha and samastam, completely, the whole of it. Samastam lokam, sokahatam. Cha means and. Vyadi abhimanagrastam, sokahatam cha. Samastam lokam. Vidhi, understand it this way. Understand the life is unstable, like the drop of a water at the edge of a lotus petal. When is it going to fall? You don't know. Unstable. Also, vidhi, understand that this life which is so unstable and uncertain is full of illness and full of conceit only. And therefore, because of that, it is sokam. It means it is misery. It is not blissful. Absence of happiness. Vidhi, understand the lokam this way. That the truth has come. Now, when you understand this, along with that, you get from the Acharya, from the Paramacharya, a sense of urgency, isn't it? Bhaja Govindam. Yes, I must do Bhaja Govindam instantly, this minute. Not even wait for the next second, because I don't know if the drop of water would have fallen next minute, next chanam. By the time I blink my eye, I may be gone. So, I must do Bhaja Govindam immediately. Why should I do that? It is for my benefit, not at the time of departure, that it is nothing will protect me. But why? Because I want to escape. I want to free myself from this lokam that is full of shokam only, full of misery, born from mental illnesses, physical illnesses, so many illnesses, and also conceit and deception and this ego that doesn't give me not even an ounce of peace. Therefore, I want to get peace. So I must do Bhaja Govindam, and I must do that here and now, immediately. And I know what my two enemies are, what my two obstructions are. One is dhanam, trishnam, the desire to get wealth, all types of wealth. And the other is the attraction towards the opposite sex. Those are my two obstacles. So with that knowledge, and with the knowledge endowed that I must do it immediately, here and now, I must do Bhaja Govindam, I must start the execution process. Okay, that is the message from Paramacharya. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.